Welcome to the Edward Fowler Show here on this lovely Friday night. Look, unfortunately we can't bring you the next installment of the exclusive segment this week between Joker and Reefer. But, however, to keep it in the tradition of XCW, I'm glad to be joined by Chris Jones. How are you doing?
I'm alright, how are you?
I'm doing fine, and I'm glad you've got the XCW logo behind you, to mean that let all my fans know that you are from XCW. So, firstly, I want to know, how did you come across XCW?
Well, it's a funny story, because I've been wrestling a lot longer than when I debuted in XCW. Actually, Kenny Hazard Chaos was running a wrestling show back in 1998 or 99.
Oh, wow.
And me and Kenny Hazard Chaos really didn't like each other very much back then. But I was a really big wrestling fan, and I seen these people wrestling over at a park, and I said that I wanted to wrestle, and he didn't like me.
Oh.
Was
it the way you just looked, or the way you sound or acted, or what was it? Do you know?
It's all of them.
Oh, okay.
I present myself off as very confident and cocky, which I believe I have reasons to be.
Yes, why not? Yes.
I am in a lot better shape than Kenny Hazard Chaos. And, well, he came to an agreement that he would let me wrestle with him after he told me no. Because I bothered him for a few weeks. They wrestled every weekend back then. And he told me if I were to take a powerbomb on the concrete cement, that he would let me wrestle.
And let me guess. Sorry, yeah. Let me guess. You took it.
Yes. He was under the assumption that, of course, I was going to chicken out and not take it, but proved him wrong. I took the power bomb on concrete, and 19, 20, 21 years later, here I am today.
Yes, and does he still not like you?
Oh, we're pretty good friends.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad that he saw the true Chris Jones.
I can't necessarily say he's seen the true Chris Jones. Maybe me as a real person, but the Chris Jones character inside wrestling is always evolving.
Well, that's good. You have to evolve in this business, or the people will not get behind you, either as a good guy or a bad guy, and to know what you're up to. So, tell me about this then. So, you've been wrestling for a long time. What is your favorite rivalry so far?
I would probably have to say my favorite rivalry ever is probably me versus a guy named Cynical, real name Ryan Hogarth, and just because our feud's ever going. We both started. He started in March of 2003, maybe.
Ooh, so that's still a long time.
Yeah, and I started April 16th of 2004, and neither of us were really big names in XCW. I mean, the Fletch really didn't know me too well. I was brought into XCW by Genocide, so I pretty much came in there with a cocky, arrogant, egotistical attitude.
Yeah, thinking, who are you?
That's what I've been used to with the other companies that I've wrestled for. And Cynical was fairly new, and Fletch just kind of threw us together, not knowing what would happen. And it's been probably one of the most talked about feuds of all time in XCW.
Well, that's good. I usually know that the Fletch is the brains behind things. He knows what's best for business to come to XCW. And I'm glad that he hopefully made your career a jump start there. So, you talk about these other companies. What other companies have you been a part of?
I started in a company known as HCW, which stood for Heavyweight Championship Wrestling. I wrestled for a company called SBW. I wrestled that was Shelbyville Backyard Wrestling. I wrestled for BYWE, which was Backyard Wrestling Entertainment. I wrestled for a company that I ran just because I wanted more wrestling time, a company called Extreme Backyard Wrestling, which I am wearing a shirt.
So is that still around today?
No, we it ended up becoming a sister company for XCW, and we
Okay.
brought it into a storyline at one point to where we tried to take over XCW with the EBW brand, and culminating to a big match between myself and Corey Lee. And the final outcome of the match, after we shocked everybody, the final outcome of the match, Corey Lee ended up getting the 1, 2, 3, and XCW ran supreme over EBW.
And then EBW died after that, did it?
I wouldn't say it died, but EBW is no longer around.
Okay. So, but okay.
I also wrestled for another company known as UIW. Kenny Hazard Chaos ran another company, NAW. I didn't get to wrestle for that one.
Didn't you?
And I was trained by, professionally trained, me, the Fletch, and a few other people were trained by NEW wrestlers, New Era Wrestling. And I did get to train a little bit at IPW in Indianapolis, Indiana.
Well, some good companies, and hopefully you get to expand your knowledge to all the new and upcoming talent here in XCW, because there's loads of new faces nowadays. Any ones you don't like?
Of the new people that are in the process of training and stuff, there isn't really anybody I don't like as a person.
Yes.
But as a character, in my mind, I have a few people I think I'll be targeting.
Oh, good. Can you leak them out? Can you leak them out, or is it top secret?
I think I'm gonna keep that top secret.
Okay.
But I will say
that
a couple of them are rising stars, and I do plan on to target them. But targeting is not like singling them out to where like they're crappy wrestlers or anything. It's just to help to elevate them to new statuses, because I tend to wrestle a lot of the newer guys.
Yeah, and to show who is boss in XCW.
Yeah, Chris Jones is always boss, though.
So which company have you enjoyed to be a part of so far? I'm guessing you must love XCW. That must be your number one.
XCW is probably number one, most popular. Probably my least favorite would be NEW.
Okay, because you didn't get to wrestle there.
Oh, I had a couple wrestling matches, and I was a part of the NEW show, the independent wrestling company known as New Era Wrestling. But when we were going through there and doing all our training, we were all really young.
Yeah.
And then all of my friends stopped going. The only reason I started training there is because my friends were training there. So I was going through a lot in school with different sports and stuff, and graduating high school. So I was like, fuck that. I'm going to go hang out with my friends and continue to do the XCW stuff.
Yeah, and can we see some of that? Okay, so we're loving the backstage people coming through there. If we might see some person leaking behind there. Anyway,
yeah, there's some people squeaking about.
Yeah, exactly. Making sure what's going on behind here. Secret conversations. Okay, so which championship belts have you won, and which ones do you want to win again? Or want to win?
I've pretty much won every championship belt except for the New Age title, which is being fought over by a rising star and a DJ. I don't pronounce his name right, but
no,
DJ,
me either.
DJ Walbert and James Cerebral and Venom are all fighting for that. I don't see myself fighting for it anytime soon, but something I want to win. I've been in pretty much all the matches is the Money in the Bank match. I've never won Money in the Bank, and if you watch all the shows throughout the year, Chris Jones is pretty much the king of ladder matches.
Well, that's good. Hopefully you will capture it and cash it in.
But the thing every wrestler wants, let me be clear.
Yes.
Every wrestler wants the world title.
Yes.
Always want the world title.
I'm guessing you want the same thing. You want all that glory. You want the people to know who's the boss around here. Know who the top star is. But the only thing is, though, once you are the world champion, everyone is fighting to get it. means you get a lot of people attacking you from each angle. A lot to work.
But a funny thing is, even when I'm the world champion, because one day I'll be the world champion again.
Yes, again.
The funny thing is, I've been the most common enemy for the entire locker room, probably for the past, I don't know, as long as I can remember. And there's lots of different videos called Men of Honor on the XCW YouTube page. If you watch a lot of them and they talk about common enemies, the people that everybody wants to take out is Chris Jones has been the top heel forever.
Exactly.
I played a good guy for 4 or 5 years, and everybody still loved to hate me. So, and I just thrive so much more as being a bad guy. It just fits my character that much more. So, if I win the world title again, let all comers come. I'm ready.
There you are. There's the expectation you can have when he wins the championship. But hopefully, he will not win the championship for a long time. Could be a bad day in XCW when he does. Because who knows what will happen there. Would you do you like being in gangs in XCW or not? Don't be on your own or with people who can help you to get to the world championship quicker and faster?
Well, when you're a bad guy, the smart thing to do is you always want to find the easiest way to win the championship. And we've had quite a few big storylines where I've been involved with different teams versus different teams. When I first started, I was a part of a team known as New Power Generation, and we had a pretty big feud against another team known as the Virtual Killers 2. And that's when I won my first world title. They kind of helped elevate me up there, and then after that, we had another really big feud between the Untouchables and pretty much XCW. XCW and the Virtual Killers. The Untouchables was myself, James Cerebral, and a guy known as Carnage originally. And like we just escalated and escalated. Another good thing about the team is it gives you a chance to bring newer guys into the mix to help give them that extra bit of swagger that you think they might need to their character or something. You can bring a new guy in. You can help them win a title, motivate them. So being a part of a team's great, but always everybody knows in the back of their mind when they team up with Chris Jones, they got to know is Chris Jones going to turn on me today? Chris Jones going to turn on me next week? So I have a pretty bad history of turning on all of my tag team partners. I think I've turned on everybody except for one tag team partner.
And who's that?
His name was Zero.
Oh, Zero. Why didn't you turn on him? Did you like him? Did you like him more than all your other tag team partners? Did he not speak to you at all during your matches? Why did you not turn on Zero?
Well, I probably hung out with Zero a lot more when we were tag team partners versus when I was partners with the other people. Zero lived not too far from me. He stayed at my house occasionally. Zero's brother stayed at my house. He lived with me. We partied a little bit. But, me and Zero just hung out an awful lot, and me and Zero seen eye to eye. So,
well, that's good. That's good to know. But there's one thing that people of XCW fans, you have to watch out, because one thing that Chris did leave out is that when you are in a tag team or in a member, and when you help new people to get to the championship bout and help them to boost themselves to the next level, you always have to figure out in your head that one day your friends, your so-called friends, will turn on you at some point. And that day is going to be the best day for that person to challenge you for the championship or for whatever else.
Back when I was a good guy, the biggest highlight when Chris Jones was a good guy is Chris Jones was partners with the Fletch, and we had a pretty big following. We were a team called Shelbyville Heat, and something came between us. We had a #1 contendership match for the world title, and we went in the match as best friends, just for the love of competition, and then the Fletch beat me. And thinking in my head, Chris Jones's ego and everything, Fletch turned his back, was celebrating after we shook hands, and turned my back on him, attacked him, and I believe I broke his ankle.
Oh, wow.
And the whole locker room came out, and I just snapped on everybody, just beat the piss out of everybody in the locker room.
Oh, wow. I wish, I'm hoping there is footage of that. I would love to see that. You turning on the whole locker room. I'm hoping you didn't destroy anyone's bones in the mayhem of all that happening.
No, just the Fletch's ankle.
Did you meant to do that on purpose or by mistake? Did it happen by mistake or were you meant to do that?
Well, if there was to be an XCW blooper reel, I try to escalate the Chris Jones character to the full potential and when I snap or get mad, I try to make it look as real as possible for everybody watching.
Mm-hmm.
And there's been times where, the last match before I recently retired, I wrestled the ladder match that Die Hard Corey Lee won, and after the match was over, I just snapped, and if you watch the footage from the Glory show, I threw a ladder. The ladder actually landed probably about 2 feet away from about 10 kids watching the show.
Oh, wow.
And, just sometimes I don't pay attention to what I'm doing, and I guess it could be on a blooper reel, but it just adds that extra pizzazz to the Chris Jones character, and that's for anybody that's a heel. You want that extra swagger, you want to put your character over the top, and I'm always trying to outdo myself from what I've done the show before. And a lot of people think Hazard and Fletch are the biggest critics when we go back by and we talk about matches and stuff. But really, Chris Jones is Chris Jones' biggest critic. I always try to figure out what I'm going to do next show that's better than what I did the show before, what I messed up on that I can improve on. So always trying to look to improve.
That's good. I'm guessing you watch yourself back in latest videos of yourself and see how I can improve on doing these moves more dangerously and looking perfectly to do more damage and to win the match quicker before it goes too long, before you may get hurt yourself.
Yeah, exactly. I always rewatch my matches. I rewatch people's matches like Tommy the Man Merriman, Die Hard Corey Lee, Brandon Hobbs, because since I've been around the business for so long, myself, Genocide, the Fletch, and Hazard, everybody's always asking for input. So we're always constantly rewatching all the matches to help all the newer people out and give them what little bit of advice that we can give them.
Yes, and what I'll call you right now, and to all the oldies in the XCW, is that you are all vintage pensioners. That's what I think you all are, vintage pensioners. In other words, is that you're all old people in XCW who needs to retire. That's what I'm going to say there.
Old people that need to retire.
Yeah. Not all the new guys. Not all the new guys in now. We want new people. We are sick of seeing these old guys. Let the new guys rise in the next 10 to 15 years. That's what I say.
Well, I'm going to go into Chris Jones' zone for 1 second.
Here we go.
Because I know there's going to be people watching this video.
Yep.
And if there's any newer guys, that want to take Chris Jones' spot at the top, I've been waiting for a long time for someone to come so I can pass the torch to him, whether it be DJ Walbert, Venom, Tommy Merriman, Corey Lee. I'm not just going to give my top spot away. Someone's going to have to come and dethrone me from the top spot. Because whether I've been in the main event or the start of the show, Chris Jones has always been the focus in XCW. So, what'd you call us?
The
pensioners that need to retire.
Yeah.
If somebody wants Chris Jones to retire, come give Chris Jones a reason why I need to retire. The whole point of Chris Jones coming out of retirement, I wasn't even retired for a whole show, and figured I was going to have to come out of retirement. So I'm waiting for the day that somebody can come take my spot.
There you have it. If you think you can beat Chris Jones, then come to XCW and beat him if you can. Because I'm sure Chris Jones will put up a great fight to prove the entire world why he is the #1 in XCW. I'm guessing you've been, I don't know if you've seen the exclusive segment on my show, but if you haven't, it's fine. The Joker and the Reaper, do you ever think them two will ever be the top faces or top heels in XCW?
No. Even though both have been fan favorites, they just don't have those characters don't have the drive and determination to be at the top end. An interesting story, what most people don't know is Chris Jones's very first character, I was the Joker.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Back in 1998, 97, whenever I started, my first match as Joker, I won the hardcore title in 7 seconds.
7 seconds, wow. So, did you wear the same stuff as the second Joker is wearing now?
No, the costume has definitely evolved over the years. Back then, it was I think wore a Scream mask from the movie Scream, and just regular street clothes. Since it was going to be doing some hardcore wrestling, didn't want to ruin any special clothes or anything like that.
Hilarious. I do apologize. That's a notification. I just been told by my notification here, I have to give a promoting message now to XCW. So here we go now, unfortunately. If you're enjoying this video podcast, please do like XCW on Facebook, touch all your friends. Make sure to subscribe to XCW on YouTube. XCW Wrestling 1 is their username on YouTube. All the links as well is in the description below. Also check out the XCW website where you can check out Chris Jones's bio and many other bios of XCW from the past and the present. Also check out all the latest news and events as well on the XCW website. Again, all their websites are in the description below. XCW Wrestling. So, what is next for Chris Jones then? What is coming up in the next few months for Chris Jones? Can you give us anything? What we can expect from you?
Well, not many people know what is to be expected from Chris Jones. What's coming up is pretty much being kept under wraps, but the little bit that I can give you is for everybody in the XCW locker room, Chris Jones coming back, putting the whole locker room on notice. Whether it is DJ Walbert, Venom, Cerebral, Hazard, Tommy Merriman, Corey Lee, Hobbs, The Catalyst, anybody, past, present, that plans on being XCW in the future, Chris Jones, putting the locker room on notice.
And I have to get your comments here because 2 weeks ago I interviewed Tommy Merriman, who you mentioned a couple of times. Do you have any comments about his interview on my show? Do you have anything to say to him direct, or put some heat on him?
Me and Tommy Merriman have a pretty historic history, and I watched Tommy's interview, and I want to correct something here and foremost. Tommy made the comment that everybody left Fletch behind when everybody was the majority of people were going to train for a new wrestling company. Just want to, for the record, say Chris Jones, Genocide, Kenny Hazard Chaos never went nowhere. We were still in XCW. We already did our training, and we decided where the place was to be. And that's XCW behind me. So as I look directly into this camera, because I know you're going to watch this at a later time, Tommy, you definitely need to watch your back. You're definitely one of the people that Chris Jones has got an eye on.
Ooh. I would not want to be Tommy Merriman at all. Well, I give you the best of luck to the next show. I'm sure you won't need luck from me, but you have it anyway. I'm sure you will.
Plans.
I'm sure you will destroy whoever gets into your way. Thank you again for your time. to
Thank you, Eddie.
You're very welcome anytime to conduct this interview. Please do again like XCW on Facebook, share it on YouTube, share it to all your friends on YouTube, share it to all your friends on Facebook as well, their YouTube account. Make sure to subscribe to them on YouTube. Make sure to check out their website as well. Also as well, please do like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter. You can as well, please do like this video podcast if you enjoyed it. Leave a comment with any suggestions, tips, or even replies to what Chris Jones has said during this interview. Also as well, please do subscribe to the video podcast and share to all your friends. And that is it from me, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your Friday evening. Hopefully again in the coming weeks we'll bring you some more exclusive footage from Joker and Weaver, and hopefully as well we'll bring in another interview with another talent here at HCW, and maybe we can get another reply to the comments made by Chris Jones this time. Who knows? Hopefully
and real quick, one last thing before you sign out. I watched very closely a few of your videos.
Oh yes.
And I noticed you interviewed other wrestling people from other companies.
Yes, I have.
And I want to say something to those other wrestling companies. If anybody thinks they can hang with the likes of Chris Jones, Tommy Merriman, they want to get extreme with Kenny Hazard Chaos, whether it's the wrestling company in UK or any of the other ones that have been interviewed on the Edward Fowler Show, XCW is the place to be. Come see us.
And I have to 100% agree with that statement. Come and see XCW. Be there or you can be squared. Peace out, everyone.